The open burning in Johan Setia has been chosen as the topic for the environment management video documentary. This group consists of Sheikh Daniel, Shazani Fakihah, Nurul Nazirah, and Radin Rafiq.
Waste is a global issue which impacts all kinds of people in the world from all kinds of countries, no matter what are their socio-economic status, cultures, and religion. Almost all countries in the world have the problem of waste management, as years by years the numbers of waste are increasing. According to studies, the rates of waste production are increasing each year, and it is expected that in 2025, the waste production will be 2.2 billion tons per year. One of the popular ways of handling waste is by open burning. One of the most preferred ways of waste management in majority countries are by waste burning. There are two categories of waste burning, which are controlled burning and uncontrolled burning, or famously called open burning. Controlled burning is necessary in everywhere in the world, as it is important to have a proper process of waste burning, especially with the hazardous waste such as medical waste and automotive waste such as motor oils and electronics waste. Unfortunately, the uncontrolled burning or open burning, contrary with the controlled burning, can give bad impacts to the health of society and also for the environment. According to study, developing countries do not have the resources for controlled burning and also trash disposal facilities such as incinerators and landfill compared to the developed nation, and as a result of open burning, provide them the alternative waste that is much cheaper and also less labor intensive. Open burning may have various definitions, as the laws of open burning are different by countries. According to Michigan Department of Environment, open burning means the burning of unsolicited materials such as grass, leaf, brush, trees, paper, and other remains, where the smoke and other emissions that were resulted from the open burning will be released directly into the air. One of the obvious characteristics of open burning is that the air pollutants during the open burning will not pass through a chimney or stack. While for Malaysia's law, it is stated in the Environment Quality Act 1974 that open burning defined by the law is any fire, combustion, or smoldering that occurs in the open air and which is not directed through a chimney or stack. In Malaysia, our country has been badly impacted with the open burning problem for many years. According to several studies, the activity of open burning in the country have become one of the main health problems for the citizens and environmental concerns. They also stated that since 2013, the increasing activity of open burning in the country are contribute to the activities of burning garbage in residential areas and also roadside. But there is one place in Selangor which the problem of open burning are famously discussed by the residents of the area. And according to study, the issue of open burning in Selangor have been famously reported since the year of 2000. Within the years, there are many reports that the citizens of the area have been hospitalized and get many dangerous health problems such as cancer. And because of that, the objective of this study is to investigate the problems of open burning at Johan Setia, and we will try to find out the suggestion and improvement that can be made to overcome the open burning problem in the area.
The issue arises in Johan, Setia, an infamous agricultural plot located in Klang, Selangor, where the open burning occurred for almost every year. Apart from being gazetted as the industrial zones, the 1,618 hectares of peatlands in Johan, Setia are considered to be a green revolution agricultural regions, surrounded by high-density residential neighborhoods. People that live in Johan, Setia are used with the hazardous condition because of its occurrence every year and escalated very quickly, especially during the hot and dry season. Malaysia's agricultural sector has been influenced by the same method that used by the Indonesians when dealing with the agricultural waste, as their plantation workers are known to conduct slash and burn farming, which involves setting the fires to field, bushes, and forest reserve in order to clear the ground for a new corpse. This method has been practiced for quite some time because it is cheaper and easy for them to do so. They did not consider how dangerous this method is because the landowners lack of conscience over the effect of haze and open burning to the society. According to Datuk Seri Wan Junaidi, as the Natural Resources and Environment Minister, this air pollution takes place every year in Johan, Setia during the dry season, and it's carried out by the immigrants who have worked for the landowners. This shows how insensitive the landowners towards the environment for allowing such activity to take place. It further stated that anyone found guilty of open burning will be detained by the Royal Malaysian Police, while the State Immigration Department will be entrusted with reducing the presence of illegal foreign employees suspected of engaging in such irresponsible behavior. Apart from the intentional open burning for the farming purposes, the Chief of Klang Fire and Rescue Department asked the Johan City landowners to barricade their plots in order to stop unwanted trespassers from turning the land into an illegal dump site. Investigations revealed that unethical individuals had illegally taken over the empty and abandoned areas of land to dispose out trash, ranging from clothing to remnants such as cables, according to the chief. Several people suspected to be drug users set fire to a pile of trash on a piece of land in Johan Setia that resulting in a worse smoke to happen in that area. Other than the method of farming and the individual selfishness, the nature of the soil itself made it possible for the open burning to occur and trigger the air pollution. The pit soil in Johan Setia is very combustible, according to environmental specialists, because it is rich in concentration of decayed vegetation. As consequences, it can rapidly spread like wildfire. The problem with the open burning would affect the livelihood of people who live in Johan Setia. The increasing complaints exhibit how rampant this issue is and how uncomfortable the society feels to have to live throughout this whole ordeal. As reported by the New Straits Times, a total of 939 schools in 10 districts across the state, including Klang and Kuala Langat, were forced to close, affecting for over 900,000 students, as the Air Pollutant Index API in Johan Setia showed from unhealthy to very unhealthy levels for over a few weeks. As the school closed, it will disrupt the learning process because the students have to stay at home and learn by themselves instead of getting the formal teaching at schools. Besides that, a large volume of greenhouse gases are released into the atmosphere as the open burning occurs. People who are exposed to this pollutant may develop irritation in their eyes and noses, shortness of breath, coughing, and headaches. The resident Johan Setia was reported to close the windows and have to depend on the usage of air conditioning to help them with the situation. They also noted that they can sense the smokiness and bitterness in the air due to the toxic haze. Another resident also stated that her children have to be rushed to the hospitals because they develop a chronic bronchitis due to the toxic weather. The legislation has already enforced the related law regarding the open burning problems in Malaysia, but it seems that, despite of the severe punishment, the landowners still manage to flout the open burning law as if there will be no action taken by the responsible agency to punish them for the endeavour. The lack of moral conscience is believed to be one of the reasons on why this policy failed to make an impact on those who break the rules. Nowadays, the public has been told and educated on how bad it is to conduct or involve in an open burning activity. It is unethical to let it slide, since any open burning activity can result in air pollution that can endanger everyone's health. The culprit thinks that they can use the dry and hot season to hide the facts that they intentionally caused the fire. It will be hard to enforce the law if everyone is selfish and think that this problem is not affecting their daily life. The law also is poorly coordinated and lack of cooperation from the public. The relevant agency always ready to handle this issue, but the question is whether the public plays their role in helping the government to handle this problem. Without anyone reporting or issue a formal complaint to the respective agency that deals with the open burning problem, there will not be any action taken because they were not alerted with the matters. The public have to step up and help the government to monitor any open burning activity because it is the only way for us to be responsible to the environment and to achieve the sustainable development goals. The Department of Environment have to increase the patrol in suspected area, especially during the hay season, to ensure that the landowners or any individual does not involve in any illegal activity that can harm the environment.
As widely separate on burning of unwanted material in the open air, which directly affect the environment and could be harmful to others. This illegal open burning activity should be stopped immediately. This is because this illegal activity gives many bad impact in both health factor of the civilians on the effect area or the environment. First and foremost, we as the human being and live in the neighborhood area should be one of the good neighbors. This is an act of common sense of an individual to have the courtesy to take care of others. Being a good neighbor is not only giving the benefit to the others who live in our surrounding, but also give a good impact to ourselves who live in residential area that meet the neighbor every day. Burning disposal waste late at night might frighten your neighbors who may wake up fearful of a fire in your home only to discover you outdoors burning garbage. That is why a knowledge of waste management should have and live in their mind who live in the residential area so that this harmful activity could not be happen. The second point to reduce the open burning is by imposing and implementing 3R, which are reduce, reuse, and recycle. In the case of open burning, which are illegal, the items that have been taken out for this activity are commonly a reusable item. If people are living with adapting this 3R lifestyle, the open burning way of disposing waste will be decreased, and maybe it could bring down to zero, as most of them already have the awareness on taking care of their own waste and managing them. Another point that would be one of the prevention is by implementing the permit of issuance. This is the process of issuing license that give you permission to do something. As a result, it can act as a kind of regulation by prohibiting individuals from burning openly. The permit should have a high price to discourage people from applying for one, pushing them to choose alternative, better garbage disposal techniques instead. Other than that, the awareness of the public on the impact of health on open burning activity is also important to reduce or prevent this activity to happen. People all across the world should be made aware of the dangers of open burning. Government and non-governmental groups should take on the duty educating people about various trash disposal techniques and waste categorization system in order to minimize the burning of items such as plastic, rubber, expired medicines, and industrial and chemical byproducts. And finally, this open burning could be stopped by introduce of an alternative way. One of the most effective methods to address the problem of open burning is to educate the people about alternative. Incinerator use might be encouraged, composting pits might become increasingly frequent, alternative cooking methods might be encouraged at a camp or on a walk. For the recommendation, a quality environment is very important for human beings in living a healthy life. The issue of open burning and air pollution is at an alarming level. These concerns indicate that human beings are increasingly sensitive to their personal health and environment. But the fact is, the root of the problem occurs from the attitude of the handful of people who take this issue lightly and only pursue world progress. Therefore, proactive and practical measures need to be taken to address the problem of open burning and air pollution. Firstly, law enforcement. The main step to overcome the problem of open burning and air pollution is law enforcement by the Department of Environment (DOE), which is the Environmental Quality Act 1974. With the enforcement of this law, the offenders who commit arson, open air, and air pollution will be subject to legal action. The section states that a party convinced of air pollution may be fined 10,000 ringgit or imprisoned for not more than 2 years or both. Normally, cases of open burning and light air pollution will be charged a compound of 2,000 ringgit. However, for cases of open burning and heavy air pollution, especially involving companies, fines will be imposed based on the section provided in the Environmental Quality Act 1978. So this measure enacted legislation will show that the government takes environmental related problems seriously. Therefore, with the enforcement of the Environmental Quality Act 1974, it can prevent the problem of open burning and air pollution from occurring widely by irresponsible parties. Next is formal and informal education awareness. In terms of education, society can be exposed through two concepts of education, namely formal and informal. This informal education can be received through education taught by parents as well as the surrounding environment. Meanwhile, for formal education is through application in the certain subjects at various levels of school, including Higher Education Center (IPT). Educational programs are important so that awareness of the importance of environmental care and the impact of human activities that can affect the environment such as open burning is exposed earlier. There is no point if the government continues to take physical measures if the community itself is unaware and continues to engage in activities that affect air quality towards this environment.
In conclusion, the Environment Quality Act 1974 was created to prevent, eliminate, control pollution and improve the environment in line with sustainable development that is to be implemented in Malaysia. Therefore, to achieve sustainable development, the Act is an appropriate method because it states the measure to address pollution and then how to manage the environment to achieve and fulfill that desire. It is clear here, in order to achieve sustainable development, the Act created can help it to be achieved because it involves an act that prohibits burning in the open without any restrictions on the air. Environmental pollution such as open burning and air pollution have a very bad impact on our world and need to be addressed immediately before the situation becomes more critical. This is because humans as well as other living things need a secure environment in order to continue life in this world. For example, humans need food on an ongoing basis. If the food source has been contaminated and damaged, then the food supply will be affected. Therefore, the world's population or human beings who are indifferent to the state of the environment cause this problem to linger and become worse.